So we got extremely lucky yesterday in the live stream, literally pulling FM Haruto first multi. And of course, you know, we had to pick up this crazy SP art. We gotta try him out against multiple different fights and see how good he is as just an attacker, as a damage dealer, and how versatile he can be in all types of content, since he has this passive that may be pretty good for nukes. For a unit that wants to be at near death as much as possible, thanks to this passive here. And unlike characters like Gamagori or Goblin Slayer and all these other units that can't really stay at low HP unless like you purposely do that for them, Hart is able to do it pretty consistently thanks to his art costing 30% HP and his super art draining 3% of his max HP. He also is very self-sufficient, so he does have the arc gauge and attack up on the true art, and this thing lasts for 100 seconds. In terms of his slots, he has a 5-star support, 5-star magic, and a 4-star magic. Your going and sustain can be literally anything. As long as it's AoE arch shin, you should be good. When it comes to nuking though with the 5-star support, I've been messing around with Divine Arachnid's Tears to trigger his passive, but this may not be entirely good, and you guys will see in the gameplay why. 5-star magic can be either Exceeds X or his true weapon. Personally, if you want more damage, you'd probably go with his true weapon just because it is going to allow him to stay at low HP, and Exceeds X is going to constantly heal him. 4-star magic, I went with the battle dress, but literally anything. We all know how bad 4-star magic is. You know, this is something that we haven't done in a long time, is actually review animations. Haruto's animations are pretty sick for the most part. They're very quick too, at least it seems like it whenever I played them yesterday on live stream. So we have his attack skill here, which is just a regular little zap. We have his skill, which is his sword attack. The art, which I think this is also a sword attack. Yeah, it's very quick though. You see, it's pretty much an instant activation. Sure, as you see right here, is a wild sword attack over and over, and I think even more spears. Yeah, he does a lot of like the spikes. And the super art is very, very fast. Spawns Yggdrasil, but a dark version of it, and then just shoots through it and blows up the entire screen. These animations are probably some of my favorite animations in the game. Whenever you're using FM Hart, you just feel like so freaking powerful as you're going through everything. And seeing him just blow up the entire screen or just instantly go into a lot of his different attacks, it feels good. It really does. So I would say just because of that, I would give him like an 8 out of 10. Now, when it comes to team building Haruto, especially sustained teams, something like this is kind of would be my go-to. Some way of protecting him. If you have Star God Lisa, then that would be the best. And then we're going to throw Summer Ilya on here just because I want to try it out, but more than likely this is going to be replaced with another Arch Shinner of some kind. Now, with FM Haruto, you may think you instantly want to go into the super art and get like the HP drain, but in reality, what you really want to do is go straight into the true art if you can. The true art's going to be what enables his arch shin, and he is going to be off to the races. But as you see right here, we're already at 2500 HP, and he's going to keep draining this over and over. You know what? We're going to reset this to see what it looks like. Yeah, and you know, we go right back up to being that. We're going to have tons and tons of dark res and magic res down on this enemy, and you're going to see real quick just how crazy his damage can be. And actually, you know what, we should have probably showed the log before that setup right there, but if you check the detail screen already, he's at 28 million, which is insane for a unit like this. Another thing that I'll mention too is that this wording in his super art does say that it costs 3% of his max HP, but as you see right here, he will not die. If he's at 1% HP, he cannot off himself with his own abilities. One thing to keep in mind is that you don't want to ever let that attack buff fall off, because if you do, you instantly know that this true art buff is no longer available. So as you see right now, the attack buff is gone, so we need to reapply his true art. And once you get this going, like, it's just a lot of fun just being able to spam this over and over. Having him go crazy with arch shin and damage is literally just a wild time with this man FM Hart. As you see with the detail screen, 177 million. This fight is going to be a bit tricky for FM Haruto, but it's definitely possible. In reality, if you get everything going just right, then you don't have to worry about anything. As mentioned before, we're going to go instantly into that true art with FM Haruto to get the arc gauge going for him and make sure that he is all set up. Even though we technically only have one arch shinner on this team, everyone is so self-sufficient that we don't even have to worry about using 2 arch shinners, even though Diablo kind of counts as an arch shinner to the left and right unit of him. So as you see right here, we're going to be trying to get FM Haruto to as low of an HP as possible, while also simultaneously dealing as much damage and trying to keep everyone else up on their HP as well. So as you see, we're going to pop this and we're going to heal, but since we're going to be able to pop the art, we're instantly still going to be down on our HP, so we really don't have to worry about anything. Now, what I say every time I fight Holy Knight Roy is that the longer you're in this fight, the more likely you will lose this fight. So if you're able to insta-break this guy in the next few seconds right here, once we get to the second threshold, you're looking extremely good. If possible, you want to hold out on actually not dealing too much damage, but you want to hold out on breaking him for as long as you can. Just so once you get into a situation like this, you're able to pretty much instantly go into the break and not have to worry about anything. Now you see right there, unfortunately, Haruto did die because the barrier dropped for just a split second. So that does suck. And we will have to make sure that we're on top of that in the future. Really, if I was using just Shiro's art 24/7, then we wouldn't have to worry. What you gonna call it? Freaking FM Heart's gonna do this all by himself. As you see, look at the damage, bro. We're perfectly fine, which means we're gonna come straight out of this and we're gonna need to pop both of our equips. And this is where it gets a little bit crazy because you do have to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's with the barrier right here. Look, barrier drop, instantly pop it. Boom, we're safe. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you beat this man, Holy Knight Roy, if you have Shiro Emiya. Now I'm going to get a bit selfish here and pop more damage with everybody, and look at that. Only using 2 defense equips and really only making use of a singular defense equip when it comes to actual damage mitigation for this team because the other one was just providing us with freeze res. And as we check the detail screen, FM Heart by himself single-handedly carrying the team with 24 million damage. As you see, we're going to be popping off with the True Art, getting our art gauge going like usual, popping off the True Art here to make sure that we also are getting the Dark Res down, which is literally instant with Halloween Forte. Amazing. And we are going to start going into this so we can actually get some damage going as well. Not for sure if this team is going to be fast enough to actually clear this in time. Maybe I need to pop another True Art here just to make sure. There we go. We did actually make it to the next one. Now we are maybe going to have to use a Blessed Necklace here. You know what? No, we're going to use Puck's Pouch just to keep Haruto alive. And I don't think he used his revive. He did use his revive. Okay, that's cool. Another super art coming in from this man, FM Heart. And we should deal enough damage to push him all the way to the edge here. At least I hope so. Yeah, he is. It just works, you know? It just works with FM Haruto. It truly does. Detail screen, 26 million. Dude, he's just consistent. He really is. He's probably one of the most consistent in-game damage dealers we have. Like, I would say him and Uzu are definitely up there as just being like these absolute raw brute force of an attacker that's able to clear content super easily. Now, we showed him against a few of the sustain fights, but now let's actually show him against nuking specifically, because there are a few like cool nuke strats that you can do with them, but it is a little bit finicky and you'll see why. So in a nuking fight, this is kind of the team that I would go with, and as you see, we are playing with Divine Arachnid's Tears to try to trigger Haruto's passive. Now, unlike Luvia and Rin, they can trigger their passive just by simply popping Divine Arachnid's Tears. Heart's a bit different. He has to actually die from something. So just to give you an idea of how this would work, you're going to be using Divine Arachnid's Tears instantly as soon as you get into the fight. If you have something like Silent Treasure or something like that too, that kind of ensures that he'll die by something because you're at 21 HP. He has to die, right? Look at that. He's at 14. He didn't die by any of the enemies. Okay, that's kind of bad, but the boss should be able to do a quick attack to the entire team, which will enable him to die. As you see, he is dead, and we are going to pop off with this. We're also going to use this, and then we are also going to top it all off with FM Heart's Super Art. And as you see right there, that in theory is kind of how a nuke would work with FM Haruto. And it's not like that just only works there. I mean, if we go into any of the special EXs, like, you know, we'll go into the Lisa one, with no type of damage res or anything like that, the likelihood of him dying while being on like 20 HP is relatively high. There could be times where you just get, you know, really cucked and you don't get killed. As you see right here, if we pop off with everything, we also use this. Look, he already died right there. You're definitely gonna be able to get this off. It's not gonna be as fast as using like Luvia and Rin, but it can still be equally as strong and equally as potent as those characters, even if you don't have them. The worst part about it is that FM Heart is pretty much the main nuker in the setting, and Luvia and Rin can kind of support the entire team. That kind of sucks since, yeah, if you just use him as a support character, he's really going to be only there for like Arc Age, and I guess you could maybe get away with using him as like just a Dark Res down character, but yeah, that's the big issue by using him like this. You're pretty much only setting up him. Mind you, I mean, that's not a bad thing either because he does insane damage, but even with that being said, you know, it's still a bit, you know. You know what, let's go to this screen because this is the only place where you can actually see his live 2D art. Definitely has some flaws, and the main one, of course, being he's just a damage dealer. He's not really helping out the team in any way, shape, or form, apart from just being able to kill the boss if you're able to keep him alive. I do think that his reliance on other characters like Shiro, Taunt Tanks, and Beta and stuff like that is a bit of a hindrance, since if you don't have those characters and you wind up getting this unit, it could prove very challenging to actually use this unit in harder content. But if you're able to make him work, hey man, he definitely works. If you enjoyed this video though, check out this showcase. It was pretty good. I'll meet you there. But before you go, don't forget to drink water.